So finally had some news about my Jeep. So I did the second appraisal. I don't know why they insisted on second appraisal. For some reason they did not like the estimate I got first. There was a company called DCC Hale, like David, Charlie, and then it's like two words, DCC Hale. Seems like they specialize in hail repair, in repair of hail damages. And so they sent me to these guys. These are called very weird name as well. They're called KHS, yeah, Know-How Systems. And the sign on the building just has the abbreviation KHS. Took me like 20 minutes to find them because Google kept sending me to the casino next door. Like it sends me into the parking lot, like, okay, your destination is on the right. I look on the right, there's a fence, and that's just cars parked, and I had no idea that we had a casino over there. But anyway, the insurance company sent me I sent them a message saying that I booked the appraisal for the second one, and she says, okay, I'll call you about a week after. And then so I did the appraisal, and then I received an email where the insurance lady says, and by the way, her title is investigator, so they were investigating my case. For some reason it took them a while to approve. And so when she sent me that email, and she says she'll call me once they know the estimate. So she never called me. Instead, my phone rings and it says Know-How Systems. Okay. And they said, would you like to book a repair appointment? I'm like, wait, what? I have not heard yet back from the insurance company. Did they approve the repair? She says, yeah, we good. We told them it's repairable, and they gave us go ahead. I said, how much is the repair? I'm just curious. And she says, 17,000 and some dollars, so Canadian, of course. And I said, how do I pay the deductible, my $5,000? Do I pay it to you or to the insurance company? She says, no, you pay it to us when you pick up the car after repairs. I said, okay, so what's the earliest date we can book? And she says, without missing a beat, she says, right now we're booking for April 25. Just for the record, it's October 16th, 24 right now. So November, December, January, February, March, April. That's 6 months. Can you believe how many cars were hit if they line up to first? Of course, this happened when? July, August, right? So only now I finally have the appraisal and the answer, so to speak, that my car will be fixed. And so it took such a long time because there was so many vehicles damaged, and now I have to wait 6 months till basically for another 6 months I have to drive with a car that looked like a very bad 4-letter word starting with S and ending in T as in Tom. But what do you do? So we booked the appointment, and I said, how long does it usually take? And she says, usually about 3 weeks. 3 weeks. I'll be 3 weeks without a car. And she says, you don't have a rental option on your insurance? And I said, I don't think so. Because I don't remember this. They never told me. Like, I went for very cheap, insurance with a big deductible because I was in Ontario. That's what some people keep asking, why did I have such a huge deductible? Because I forgot to update my insurance. I lived in Ontario for 17 years. We never had storms like here, like they have in Alberta, in the summer. And so I kept the deductible high because nothing ever happens, and that would allow me to minimize my monthly premiums, right? And then I moved to Alberta in September late September 22, and I forgot about this, you know. Actually, when I was changing insurance, because I had to change, you know, when I was registering the car here and I had a Dodge Charger, it was a very big deal. They were grilling me about my driving record, because I said, what's going on? I've been with the same, you know, TD insurance for, I don't know, 15 years, 17 years, more like 20 years, I think. And they said, well, that was Ontario. Now we have to issue you a different insurance for Alberta. And so this is like getting a new insurance. And so remember, I thought at one point they would refuse, you know, like, yeah, we cannot help you. And then what do you do? Insurance is obligatory in Canada. You cannot drive without insurance. So if nobody wants to insure you, you're in trouble. But yeah, they eventually did insure me. And so yeah, so those are the news about the Jeep. So it'll be 3 weeks. I think my appointment is like middle of April. And so, because, you know, the two things that could have happened that I was really afraid might happen. Number one, they would say, we don't believe you. It's not hail damage. We're not gonna pay. And then I have to find my own means to fix this, because then basically the car is a write-off, you know, like when you try to sell a car like this, let's say in a couple of years, I'll want to, you know, upgrade the vehicle. Nobody will want to buy it like this, you know, or will buy it, they'll buy it, but it'll lose like 5 grand, 10 grand in value, you know. So that was my one fear. And the second fear was that, well, even worse, even a worse situation would have happened if they said it's a write-off. And actually, I think that's why I think they did the they sent me for the second appraisal, because I read somewhere that many insurance companies will consider a write-off when the repair cost is nearing 50% of the replacement cost. You know, and my car was 50 grand brand new in July 22 when I bought it. So, but you know, they lose value, right? So especially it's an American car. So I think now maybe a car like this, I think actually is like 40, I looked on the Auto Trader. I think it's about 40,000, maybe 42, 43. But you see, the repair is 17. So it's almost $20,000. And probably that company, the first company, probably quoted them like 20K, you know? And they're thinking, oh, let's get the second opinion, you know? And if they would have said it's a write-off, I would be really in trouble, because let's say they give me $42,000, right? The current market value for a used car like this. I cannot get rid of the loan because I owe money over there. I'm upside down, of course, as usual. So I wouldn't be able to do this, you know, because 45 that's not enough. So this is a really good news. And I set aside that $5,000. It's there, it's ready to go. And the good news is that, another good news is that I don't have to pay it right now, right? So it can save me some interest meanwhile, right? Because I put it on my Visa where I had a high balance. So yeah, and things are super busy at work. Like almost every day I finish at 5 o'clock, you know. Like today I started the first priority was to get rid of yesterday I picked up a disabled electric pallet jack. You know, those super heavy things, you know, like there's a couple of buttons and they go by themselves because they have the electric motor and they can raise the forks. You know, they're very powerful, and also they move very fast. But for some reason we rented one to this company downtown, and it stopped working, you know. It stopped working. They put it on blocks for some reason. They said they used the fork. Like, why did you put it on blocks? I don't understand. And the guy says, oh, because it wasn't working. So why is it on blocks? So it took us like 20 minutes to get it off the blocks, and it was still dead. And then the guy somehow managed to make it work. For it would go like 1 foot and stop, 1 foot and stop, and eventually we managed to load it on the trailer. But when we were unloading, actually the guy at the shop managed to drive it down my bed on the ground, and then it died. He tried every trick he knew, nothing. And that's what those guys said, the customer. They said this machine was like working and then dying, working and dying, like intermittent, problems. And so our guy had to grab a forklift and lift it and carry it inside the shop. So that was the first thing we did, because yesterday again I came very late. I worked again. It was like after 5, and I said, okay, I'll unload today. And so that's what we did. I unloaded, and I think they gave me a couple of one delivery, one pickup for the Freightliner, and I did that. And then I came back, and the dispatcher says, okay, pickup truck. So there was a bunch of scaffolding, and then I picked up something, I forgot. And then at the end of the day, they sent me 50 kilometers down south, past the 201 ring road, like one of those new areas, like way south of, it's not even Calgary anymore, because you are on the other side of 201 on the ring road. And there was another 2 pickups of scaffolding. So when I came back to the shop, it was 4:45, and we close at 5:30. But I'm supposed to go home at 4. But when they have work, I stay until the work is done, until they tell me I can go. But now it was 4:45, so I unloaded. I had 4 frames 5x5 on one side of the pickup truck, and I had 6 on the other, so 10 frames. That's a lot. And then I had I think 10 decks, all 10 foot long, and a bunch of braces, also 10 feet long. Yeah, it was a big load. And of course, how do you load everything? Once the first one is in, so your decks are at an angle, I cannot open the gate because there's so much weight. I cannot release the pins that hold the gate, the tailgate. And so I was just raising, thankfully I'm a tall guy, so I was able to raise those suckers, 10-foot decks, and slide them into the bed on top of each other. So like the truck looked funny, I was basically loaded up to here. And so yeah, I was back in the shop 4:45. By the time I finished, it was like 10 after 5, maybe 15 after 5, just maybe, took like half an hour. But so yeah, I did a lot of scaffolding today, so I said, okay, that's it. I want to go to a nice Indian restaurant. So I went to this Lovely's Sweet House and Takeout. Had some bangan barta and tandoori roti. And I tell them, dry roti. And the girl says, you want with butter or no butter? I said, I just said dry roti, like dry toast, right? No butter. Okay. And then they never can understand. When I say bangan barta, they never understand it. She looks at me and she squints her eyes. Sorry, what would you like to order? I said, bangan, barta, eggplant thing. Oh, bangan barta. I said, oh, didn't I just say that? Yeah, okay. So basically, when they say it, it's exactly like I think I'm saying it, but they never understand me. Like, I don't know it's a very difficult dish to pronounce, but basically what it is, it's kind of like, like mashed potatoes, except it's mashed eggplant plus some nice So it's a very light dish, and you just get some, bread, some roti, like naan. But I like roti because I think it's a bit healthier, and so that's all I had. I had some roti and bengen barta. And I decided to get a glass of wine just to celebrate the news about the Jeep. So this weekend I'm not working, which is great. So Saturday I'm off. So I'm thinking I might do some Uber, maybe Uber or Lyft. And then Sunday I'm supposed to do that photo shoot for the movie people. Like the guy contacted me like a couple of weeks ago. So they're doing, they're shooting kind of like, what do you call it? A rehearsal. They're doing a rehearsal for a movie in downtown Calgary on Sunday. And they just want some stills. They want a still photographer to document the rehearsal. So I bought a couple of extra lenses. So now I am all, equipped, and I bought the second camera, right? Because you need two cameras for serious work. So now I have a Nikon Z or Z6 II, my old one, and the new one I got is a Nikon ZF. Very nice camera with the old classic look. It has dials on the top, but most people still change the the shutter speed and aperture inside, like on a regular mirrorless camera. But super nice camera. Like I did a couple of test shots when I was at this Cross-Iron Mills on Saturday. I did some kind of like street photography, and the quality seems to be better than coming out of Nikon 6 II. So those are two my cameras, Nikon 6 II and Nikon ZF. And now I have 24-70 f4, I have 35-1.8, I have 50-1.2, and I just picked up 85-1.8. So that's enough for any wedding or any kind of like event photography. I can produce really good, photos. So those are the news. And another news, I've been searching like most reliable cars and best brands, and again, Lexus and Toyota at the top, and to my surprise, Buick is in the third place, and then fourth place is Chevrolet, but of course it's all GM, right? And Chevrolet, so Buick got exceptional ratings for its Encore, which I think is like a small SUV, but Chevrolet got praised for Equinox, Traverse, and Tahoe. And that Traverse actually looks pretty good. It retails here brand new for 50 grand. So yeah, I didn't get approved for that used Ford Explorer, so now I'm thinking maybe I should try and apply for a new vehicle. It might be easier because banks like financing new vehicles better because they know the exact price, right? And the interest rate is always lower on new vehicles. So yeah, Chevy. I like Chevy. With all my new cars, the only Chevy I had was a two-door Chevy Cobalt. With a stupid name, but it was I think 2.4 liter 4-cylinder engine. It was okay. It was a nice car. That was the first car I started doing mods on. I put the air intake, and I think I did something with the muffler. I don't know. But yeah, so I like cars. Always, trying to read up on new vehicles, new brands. And yeah, Stellantis, the Jeep maker, is going downhill. And still, I looked at the prices of this East Side Dodge where I got this Jeep in Calgary, and it's like, sale, original price 120,000, current sale 105 or 1. So basically raised up the original price, and now they're trying to pass it as a sale. And so I don't know what they're hoping to achieve. Like, people are not stupid. They have excess inventory. Nobody's buying, Jeeps or some people actually. My boss, the dispatcher, just bought a slightly used Ram 1500 big horn. He loves it. But all in all, I know that Stellantis sales are down, inventory is up, they're firing people, letting go workers. So, and I look at the reliability ratings. Jeep is actually not too bad. It's in the middle. I think it's even better than Ford. But the top three or top four, what did I say? Yeah, Lexus, Toyota, Buick, and Chevrolet. So that's what I want to explore. Just try to, read up more on this Chevrolet small and medium size SUVs, because Tahoe is very expensive. Over here, Tahoe, the cheapest brand new, even in a basic, no frills configuration, is the cheapest I was looking on AutoTrader, $77,000. Whereas Traverse is 50. Not sure about Equinox, but Traverse is not that expensive. Okay, time to go home, play my accordion, watch some movies, and get ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday, probably gonna be crazy busy again. Like I said, I start at 6:45, I finish at 5, which is bad news, good news, because I do make some overtime, right? I get paid overtime. Ciao.